We've been talking about different things here and there, and with our Buck and Fitness segment and things going on in that, we've got something for you here. We've got someone here today that's going to talk about some stuff, and right here we do have. What's that? Well, Philip's here. There's Philip right there. How's it going, Philip?
Good, man. How you doing?
Did I say Keuppens?
You
Did I
got
say that
it.
right?
You
Keuppens?
got it.
I
Yeah.
got it right. Look at that. Hooked on Phonics did work for me, apparently. It did work for me. All right, so you're here today, and you're going to tell us about a product that I stumbled across not too long ago, and I really enjoyed it, and apparently a lot of people do too. So you've got pickle juice.
That's right.
How does that work? You used to put a straw in a pickle and down it, or
Well, I can tell you and your listeners that no pickles are harmed in making our products, so we're very pickle friendly.
that is
But
good.
kidding aside, it's actually made from scratch. So we call it pickle juice because we use a proprietary grain of vinegar that actually engages the exact same neural channel that causes muscle cramps. So this stuff will stop a muscle cramp in about 60 seconds flat and prevent it from coming back for up to an hour. Not only that, it's a 100% natural alternative to those common sports drinks, but it doesn't have any sugar, caffeine, or artificial ingredients that you find in some of those other drinks you see on the shelf in the stores.
And it tastes good. And that has. I know it sounds funny to say, and it tastes good, but a lot of different products out there that do this, do that, but you don't. If it tastes bad, nobody wants to drink it.
Well, that's right. It seems like a lot of these companies are making products to kind of test in the boardroom, right? But when you're out in the field or you're running, you're sweating, you're dehydrated, your body's not craving that sweet stuff. It's telling you what it needs, right? It's craving more of a savory type flavor. So a lot of folks that we get our product to, especially when they're needing it, when they're sweating, when they're dehydrated, when they're cramping, uh, they really find the flavor to be quite pleasant because it's more consistent with what your body's telling it you needs.
And with the pickle juice and the markets, where do you see most of your customers uses for that? Is it mostly in the athletic field, or is it in the working field, or where do you see the market for it?
Well, we started catering to sports teams, mostly football. We got our start with high school, college, and NFL football teams, and then over the years we saw an evolution towards individual endurance athletes, cyclists, ultra distance runners, stuff like that. Um, but we're also seeing a lot of customers. About half our customers are just folks that are working out all day on the ranch. Roofers, electricians, just people that are out sweating. And believe it or not, there's a lot of folks who get nighttime leg cramps that are using our product because they'll wake up with a leg cramp and hopping around for a little while, and their significant other might enjoy the show.
Yeah,
That doesn't feel too good.
they get the shaky leg.
That's right. That's right. So they're just putting a bottle of this stuff on the nightstand, taking a couple of swigs, and a minute later, the cramp's gone. And they're back to sleep.
Huh. What? That's good stuff. Especially for the I guess for the leg cramps.
Yeah, I mean leg cramps, side stitches, arm pump. We got a lot of folks that are motocross riders, stuff like that. They get that arm pump in the forearm,
Hmm.
and they said it really helps for that a lot too. But really, any application where you need a sports drink, it's applicable for it, right? This stuff's got 10 times the amount of electrolytes of common sports drinks, but none of the other stuff that we should be avoiding: sugar, artificial colors, flavors, stuff like that.
And if how does it come? I mean, how does it come? Is it like a huge bottle? Is like a 16 ounce, a 20 ounce? How do they come as far as if somebody's looking to buy some? Are they looking to get a big huge bottle, a small bottle? How does it package?
Right. Well, as much as we'd love people to go out and buy 55-gallon drums, that's probably not very practical. We got a 2.5 ounce shot bottle, which is kind of a carry it with you, throw it in your truck, use it as you need it type of thing. We got an 8 ounce bottle, which is kind of more for individual applications, like you throw it in your gym bag. You're taking a couple swigs out of that, or team applications where, when you're playing football, soccer, rugby, whatever, you drink a bottle at halftime, and that's going to take you through the half. And then we got a 16 ounce bottle, and most of that's being used by folks that are using it regularly, get nighttime leg cramps, or putting it on their nightstand, putting it in their fridge, or what have you.
And speaking of that, is it something that you say on the nightstand, things like that? Does it have to be cold? Does it have to be refrigerated to drink it? Is it better cold? Is it better room temperature?
Oh, that's a personal preference thing, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be cold. A lot of folks prefer it cold, but it's shelf stable. I mean, you don't have to refrigerate it even after it's open. So that's another reason that folks that are working outside or out on the ranch or in the fields all day, they don't have to worry about keeping it cool. You just keep it near you, keep it on you, just like you would with a bottle of water.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because a lot of time, even bottled water, I drink. I drink cold water sometimes, but room temperature water. I can drink the room temperature water out doing stuff better than I can the cold water, because the cold water, you go drinking that and you freeze your insides like you're drinking an ice cube. And so if with something like that it can be room temperature, it can be ice cold, either way you can still drink it, and it's still going to taste good.
Right. And interestingly, if you're drinking cold beverages, especially when you're in a high exertion environment, your body has to expend energy to bring that water up to your core body temperature. And I'm not saying you should drink all your drinks at 98 degrees, but you're actually drinking room temperature beverages is a much more efficient way to use those products, especially in an environment where you're trying to maximize your body's natural fuels and efficiency.
Okay. And as far as your involvement with the drink, or were you involved in sports, and that's kind of what got you involved with the pickle juice, or how'd that come about?
Yeah, I've got a bit of an athletic background. I was in the military for a little while, and I was played rugby for a long time, and muscle cramping was a thing, particularly as I got older and tried to keep up with the young guys playing rugby. It was, I knew some of the guys were using it. This company was local. Learned more and more about it, and I was fortunate enough to hook up with the company a couple of years ago, right when they were shifting their strategy from being exclusive to team sales and regional distribution to wanting to operate more like a traditional consumer packaged goods company, and that was kind of my background. It was a perfect time and great opportunity, and man, I got to tell you, it's a real cool product and company to work for. I mean, every single bottle sold around the world comes out of our plant here in Mesquite, Texas, and we're real proud of that.
And you say around the world, as far as the customer base, where do you normally ship products to? I mean, how far off do you normally reach your customer base?
Sure, we're pretty well saturated in North America, especially the U.S. We started down in the South in the hot states, and now we're available 8,000 different retail locations throughout the country. But we've got a division in Australia that takes care of our customers and the whole Pan-Pacific region, so Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Japan, etc. And we just got into South Africa very recently. We've got a team over there doing a great job for us. And now we're starting to get into the European market as well.
Okay. So pretty much all they got to do is go online. To go online and just kind of figure out where to...
Yeah, we'll ship. If we don't have local representation, we'll ship it anywhere in the world. If somebody wants it, they just need to go to picklepower.com and hit our contact list, and we'll tell them where they can find it. We got a pretty strict policy at the office. It says don't make it hard for the customer to give you their money. So if somebody wants it, we'll figure out a way to get it to them.
All right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, get the product to the people. I think you said something that piqued the interest of these folks here. Now they're wanting to know about rugby. So what? I guess football. Everything here is football or Dallas Cowboys football. So I guess they're wondering how rugby falls into Texas.
Well, it's believe it or not, I finished my playing career here in Dallas, and Dallas has the biggest men's rugby club in the country. I'm now a coach with the Dallas Rugby Club, also known as the Reds. And they have 140 active players on the men's side. Got a women's team now. Got a youth team going now. Matter of fact, we're playing our crosstown rivals here this weekend. Dallas Harlequins, the other Division I team in town, and it's it's a massively growing sport in the United States, and believe it or not, the U.S. Eagles, the men's national sevens team, is pretty regularly now one of the top 5 teams in the world. So it's very rapidly growing, and now you're starting to see American football programs using rugby coaches to teach proper tackling techniques to reduce injuries and stuff of that nature. So it's really starting to come along around pretty well.
Now, as far as what I know, there's there's differences in rugby and football, and like as far as the pads and stuff. But is there anything similar to it at all, or is it just apples and oranges?
No, it's pretty similar actually. Football kind of came from rugby, and there are some terms that started or were influenced by rugby. The reason they call it a touchdown is because in rugby you don't score until you touch the ball down in the end zone. The line of scrimmage was evolved from the scrummage, which is a way that we restart. That's the image most people are familiar with rugby. It's like 16 players just piling on top of each other and trying to push each other over. But so there are some similarities. The biggest difference is we can't throw the ball forward. Obviously, we don't wear pads. We have to wrap up in our tackles. You can't hit somebody in the air. You can't be in front of the ball. And you can't block. So and play doesn't stop. So it's
You just keep going.
You just keep going. When you get tackled, let go of the ball, and somebody else picks it up and throws it to the next guy or runs it. Or
So what? Okay, so if you people are like, what? Rugby? Yeah. So if you're going, so say you got the ball and you're going this way, do they steal it from you? Can they take it, or how does that work?
Yeah,
like, can they fumble it, or
the ball is pretty much the line of scrimmage, right? So if you're running down the field and I'm on your team and I'm in front of you, I'm offside, so I got to get behind you, which means you also got 15 players trying to take you down, and nobody blocking them from doing so. But yeah, it's pretty much you advance it through kicking or running, and the scoring's similar. So your objective is to get it into what we call the try zone, which is the end zone, and you put the ball down and you get 5 points for that, and then you get to kick a conversion, which is 2, and so the scoring pattern and sequence is very similar to American football, but it's very nuanced in the sense that it requires a different level of fitness, different type of fitness.
right?
So much higher cardiovascularly demanding. It tends to be a bit safer because we have to wrap up on our tackles, and you see most of the hits coming, right? You can't hit somebody from behind. You can't hit somebody in the air. So you can't hit anybody above the chest or just clothesline them or shoulder charge them. So it's safety is despite the fact that it looks brutal, it is a very physical game, but it's a lot less chaotic maybe than it looks.
Is there a lot of broken noses?
There's a few. I've had 1 or 2 in my day.
With no I'm just thinking with no helmets, and you know.
Yeah, most of the stuff you see are twists and sprains and cuts and bruises. You see some shoulder injuries, but it's just like anything. It's not like going out there and trying to murder the other guy like it might look like on TV.
Yeah, because I've seen it a few times on TV when it, flipping through the channel I see something on, but and I may watch for 4 or 5 minutes, but I have no idea what's going on.
Right. Well, I'm a referee, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm just kidding. No, it takes a bit to get used to because I think a lot of people try to watch it like they're watching a different sport. So we try to compare things, as we do with everything, to something we know. But the basic premise is it's 15 on 15, 40-minute halves, continues play. The ball stops when it's either thrown forward, dropped forward, or there's an infraction like a high tackle, foul play, or a late hit. And then you'll restart with a penalty, which is just kicking the ball. Or if the ball goes out of bounds, you get a line out, which is the thing where they throw the other guy in the air looking pretty.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like, what's going on? What happened to that? Happened to that guy?
Yeah, that's like that's kind of an elaborate throw-in, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. That's all I can say. I can say that. It does look interesting.
Yeah, well, anybody can come and anybody local, like check out usarugby.org, and all the teams are listed there. They can in their hometown, just Google rugby and see what's going on. I guarantee you, most of your listeners will be pretty impressed by the amount of rugby that's available in this country. And if anybody's here local in Dallas, just look up the Dallas Rugby Club and come check us out sometime.
Oh, USA Rugby right here. Okay. Now the ball, what is the ball heavier than a regular football?
It's kind of like a flat, more fatter, more oblong type of football. So it's a bit bigger, and it's inflated lighter. So I think there's a quarterback playing in the Super Bowl that likes underinflated balls.
Yeah.
Just kidding. This kid's pretty good. But all joking aside, it's kind of fatter and a bit bigger and inflated to about 10 psi, which I think is a bit less than a football.
Huh. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're looking at 30 USA Rugby. Okay. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right. So we got rugby and. Okay. Well, I would think if you're, I don't know. I guess like you say, it's safer. You're not hitting. You don't have the big elaborate hits and things, but I'm sure you still get the sore muscles and the cramps, everything that goes along with I guess any fast-paced contact sport.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is kind of cool. I mean, we get a lot of guys coming out and girls now too, coming out that once football's over, because football in the States is kind of an interesting thing, right? Once you're not good enough to make that next level team, you're done.
Yeah.
And that might be Pee Wee, junior high, high school, or college, or for very few people, NFL. But in the rugby community, we talk a lot about life after football, and it's a great outlet for adults who kind of love the kind of contact sport, that team environment. So if anybody's out there that is missing that from their glory days, it's a great outlet. And I've got guys on the team that I coach that are anywhere from 22 years old all the way up to 40 that are still playing.
Huh. I'd like to check that out. So Dallas Rugby? Dallas. We're going to have to look into that. Check that out. Okay. All right. Well, while we're still here, you got anything else you want to add or throw in about the juice?
Oh, no, man. I just really appreciate the time, obviously, and want to thank your listeners for taking the time to listen to me talk about it. But really, check out if anybody gets muscle cramps, whether it's outside, at night, in the gym, whatever, check out picklepower.com. Learn more about us. Even if you're looking for a healthy alternative to the traditional sports drinks that have a bunch of sugar, caffeine, and artificial ingredients, we're a great option for those folks as well. And all our products are made right here in the USA, and we're quite proud of that.
All right. We'll sure send them that way. Let them know about that and that. Some good stuff.